In this video, I'm going to be showing you a super competitive rec game that we came into. To be fair, we do deserve this because as you're able to see, the two guys on our team, the guys that start with the BJ, they were guys who just picked up. They were both French. Literally today, we're basically trying to create a team eventually, but we just thought we'd play with them. So every game we played, we're literally being matched up with the full five, which is only fair. So this is a super competitive game. It was super fun. It went down to the last shot. Both teams were really good. As you're able to see, they started off the game just shooting the three. We really struggled at the start as well, which was really interesting. Which we had to eventually make some adjustments towards the end of the game. As you're able to see that I came last minute with the help. But yeah, it was a super close game. As you're able to see, contested shot, got the rebound, and yeah, I got the putback. The lineup we kind of ran. I'm basically a 6'11" small forward. And I was one setting the screen, and our center is basically involved with sort of helping out. To be fair to him, though, I know he's basically getting bullied. His build is technically a power forward. Not that it makes any excuse really, but kind of sort of big shot by Lilo in the corner. But yeah, this was a super competitive game. It was super fun. As look, that guy hit a deep three. The whole time, like I said, it was definitely well deserved. We had to play a team like this, otherwise it would have been unfair. I normally play solo or with one or two other players. If we had played this game with one or two other players, we would have lost straight away. Like, there's no doubt about it, because this other team, they were super sweaty. You can argue that both teams shouldn't really be here. We should have been in Pro and 5v5, which is, it's a fair argument, and I'll take that. But as you're able to see, they're working the pick and roll in the first 2 quarters. They were literally just killing us. We couldn't do anything. Right here, give it back to the corner, back to the top. I'm still sort of in the paint, sort of hovering about for the rebound, but luckily I got bailed with that shot right there. It wasn't the best take, but we got it anyway. They came back with a pick and roll, but you can see your boy came with the late help. Easy fast break. My build does have silver anchor, so that does really help if you saw, if people to help sort of clank their shots and stuff. But they ran a really good play there. It was like a wrap and a cut at the same time. So it was quite difficult to see. And right here we went on the break. Look at that. Look at my that's my shooting guard just fading away right there. Again, look, they went up on our center and he's not able to get a stop, which is fine. Look, again, his build, I don't think he's even maxed at this point. But look, they were just killing us, man. Look, what a beautiful play. What a beautiful play by the other team right there. This was an extremely good team. Again, if we had played as guys with 2 or 3 people in the squad, would have most likely lost. The other thing is also important to know is our center doesn't even have steal. So, it's going to be difficult for him to get any sort of offensive, like, steals and stuff. But look, right here, this build is a snag god. My build, again, I'm a small forward. I'm minimum weight, which basically gives me the most speed possible. But I don't know what we're doing right there. I don't understand what the defense was. Again, we're not also, all 5 of us aren't in the party. It was just me, the point guard, and the shooting guard. So me, the guy that's going to get a bucket right here. So there's only 3 people communicating, and the other 2 guys, I think they were in a separate chat because they're both French. But weren't really communicating with them, as I got dunked on right there. That was not pretty. I was really upset about that. But right here, the lockdown is supposed to be my PG. They're so misconfused, as you're able to see who's supposed to be picking up on who. This is the reason why it's very important to be able to play with a build that can shoot, because it creates opportunities like that. But right here, look, we're just getting killed, man. Like, the guy was just working the pick and roll. We definitely had to make some adjustments. This quarter we're running a 2-3 zone. But it's not really a zone, it's more of man defense, as you're able to see, because there's a guy spaced out on the hash, and he's basically just waiting. And again, we're just getting killed. We're getting killed in the paint. We're not able to get any real stop. Right here, I popped, trying to drive past them, but they did a good job sort of pinching this, but my guard cut again. Another bailout shot, but look, it works. That's also another important thing about having a really tall PG, is you're able to get buckets like that. Look, they tried to call a play. It's almost the end of the quarter anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I stole that. And yeah, that is halftime. So halftime, we basically spoke, as you're able to see, we couldn't go ahead against these guys because every time we tried, we were just not successful. So we end up switching it up with my PG, who's a very good PG and a good defender. So we end up actually having him to guard their PG, as you're able to see, and that made a big difference in the second half. We started off differently. My guard right here using me as bait. This is a very good pass, by the way. Good take. I know some of you guys might have questioned that, but he used me as bait. They both kind of came back and they got that give them the opportunity, but their guard came right back. They was like, no, we're not gonna. They're not trying to give up this lead. Right here, big screen for me. Trying to see what's going on. Figuring out there's not much take. He takes a midi. Big green. By the way, that is not a bad shot. He takes that shot all the time. He makes it at like a 90% rate. So that's a very good shot for him. And again, right here around the pick and roll. Bad take. He's not getting the same. I mean, still an open look. Should have made that. But he wasn't getting it as open as he was in the first quarter of their PG. So fair play to our guard for locking him up. But then look, he's not going to give up. Look, he's still trying. He's still working it out. But this is the main difference in the second quarter of the game, or the second half of the game, should I say, because look, he's not able to get any more buckets. He's struggling. But he got bailed by the cut. I'm not really going to blame my shooting guard right here because we did communicate that we're going to switch on the cut right there. So low key was kind of my fault because I didn't really switch with him. But again, I'm underneath the rim. There's no one to be found. I just went up. I had a very quiet, good game. You see the stats at the end of the game, but they came right back with the cut. They're like, bro, we're not going anywhere, man. They're not trying to lose this game. Neither are we. I popped right there, giving my guard the space to drive, but I kind of slipped off that because, you know, the center was sleeping. So I took an advantage of that. I don't know what happened. Our center's on the ground. Oh, look at this really good. Oof, that's a nice crossover, but he got fouled. He went to the free throw line, but I definitely had to show that because that was a really nice move. But look, these guys, I told you, they're good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, they were a good team, and they were definitely not trying to lose this game. So they came back, they kept attacking the paint, which was, you know, there's not much we could do. You know, our center wasn't really getting the stop. Right here, the pass dragged me to the mid range, but my build has mid range and three, so it doesn't really matter. As long as it's open, I'm gonna take it. I ended up making that one. Again, the pick and roll, it was killing us. The center dropped for some reason, which fair enough, I understood where it was coming from, but wide open three. Right here to give the lane to my PG, who's just going to keep taking it. This is the benefit of having a super tall guard because they can dunk from further away and their dunks are just vicious. They're harder to stop. I came in for the late help, good rotation from the team, ended up being contested. We, shaky, but we ended up getting the rebound. He was probably trying to go for a dunk. They gave him a jump shot. He missed it. Anyways, that was a jamming possession. We ended up getting it back, 46 to 43. We ended up taking the lead. Right here was a give and go, wide open, but he, again, they'll communicate, so they'll probably communicate at that play between themselves. But he got the bucket. And again, here we go. RPG running the pick and roll, wide open. Now he used me as bait again. See, that's a very good take by him. A lot of you guys might be like, you should have passed it. But sometimes, as long as you make the bucket, it's fine. You know, he used me as bait on the pop, and that's really good. Right here, the PG once again. He's not having the greatest second half because we changed a lot of things. Look, I'm getting bumps. They're not really able to get a good look right here. They're struggling. Boom. Look, very good possession from us. We basically locked them up in that possession. Contested jump shots. Oh, here we go, back on the fast break. Waiting to see what happens. Again, running the screen. I'm going to go into the paint. You don't want to give this build too much space in the paint. I have 80 standing dunk, 93 driving dunk. It's just not going to be a good day for you guys. Again, the random pick and roll, but what a steal from my PG right there. This game was very tense, guys. This game was very tense, especially in the party. These are the kind of games that get your blood flowing when you're playing rec. It gets you excited. And again, technically speaking, this is supposed to be a pro-am game. This is essentially a pro-am game because of how competitive it was. And we were up big here, kind of big. Towards the end of the game, and you'd probably think, you know what, that's it. The game's gonna be done. Once again, my guard used me as bait. See, I was wide open. He used me as bait and it went to the paint. That's not a bad take. You guys could have argued, could have passed it, but look, as long as he makes the bucket, I'm not complaining. I trust him. I know how he plays. Right here, they were still struggling to get a bucket, still struggling. That was the big difference, guys, between the first and the second half. Switching our point guard onto their point guard to play defense made a big difference. Maybe we would have had a bigger lead from the start, but look, they're not going to go away. Just because these kind of games, again, miscommunication between me and the corner guy. Not his fault because I was supposed to take the guy cutting on the rotation. I was asleep, all right? But once off the inbound, easy bucket. Don't know what. They probably miscommunicated on defense right there. But once again, look, wide open in the paint. We could not get a stop in the paint at all. It was really difficult. Right here, I did a little stutter step. That step gets everyone. That little stop step in the paint and then going in, that gets everyone every single time. We got a bucket. Look, we've got almost an 11-point lead here. I don't know how I got a contest, but I jumped. Luckily, I did. The guard is too small. I did a little Euro step, given the nice animation that I wanted for once 2K. But they're not going to give up. They're still here. They're still fighting. They're still running their pick and roll, and for some reason, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened. That was just some miscommunication. Now it's back down to 10 points, and here we go again. My guard is just going crazy. I told you, look, you don't need guards to be hunting for threes to win games, because he's 6'9" and he's just crazy in the paint. He's just going crazy in the paint. Their PG came back. Twice I got dunked in this game. I was very, very upset. Towards the end of the game, I made some crazy pass. They got it taken away. And you're probably thinking the game is done, right? But, they did make a very close game of this in the paint again consistently. We were not able to get a single stop. That was our issue this whole game. Just being able to get stops in the paint was impossible. Once again, you saw where it ended up. It's in the paint, in the paint, in the paint every single time. No, and it's like all contested. But anyways, the game's almost done, and you'd be thinking, oh, it's probably finished. End the game with a dagger three right there, but we missed it, and it got really interesting. And they came back. We should have made that three. Now they're wide open for a three. I was like, bro, we cannot lose this game. They've worked our way hard back into this game. They were pressing super high. We end up going to the free throw line. It's almost the end of the game. All he had to do was basically make these two free throws, and it's essentially going to be game. And you already know, we're not messing about. He makes both free throws. Now they're down by 5. They called a timeout. But essentially, the game at this point was pretty much over. But it was a very, very good game. And again, these are the kind of games that are probably, I wish Pro-Am was more active, because these are the kind of games that should be played a lot more in Pro-Am. But again, me and my team, we're trying to basically build a decent team to be able to play Pro-Am consistently. They ended up getting that 3. Look, it's only down by 3. So all I had to do was make the right pass, which luckily I did. So the game was over. It was a super close game. It was a super fun game. As you're able to see, I had a really good stats, even though the highlight didn't show it, right? But I quietly had a very good stat. This build is a snag god. You can shoot, you can rebound, you can play interior defense, you can guard ball, whatever you want to do with this build. It's amazing. But yeah, I thought I'd show you guys that really, really exciting gameplay. I also leveled up from that, which is great, great, great. But yeah, the point is, at the moment, we're just trying to build a team, and hopefully, if the team is good enough for rec, because you have to try them out in rec and play consistently, then we're gonna start playing more Pro-Am gameplays. We're gonna give you guys more Pro-Am gameplays. So if you guys like this sort of video, I know I sort of showed both teams, then do let me know, and yeah, make more of it. Hope you guys enjoy that. It was super fun. I had tons of fun. I leveled up, so why not on a double XP?